Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I just scared my dog by talking because it's been so quiet in here. But good morning. Thank you for joining. So today I am going to be talking with Ashley Marin from Marin Makeup. And we're going to be talking about skincare and makeup for specifically headshots and brand photos. Hi, Jessica. But we are going to go ahead and bring Ashley in.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Great.
Sorry. Just going to situate this for a second.
I know. I never know where it's gonna like crop me once, but
Yeah, I was like, that wasn't exactly my plan. There we go. Okay.
awesome.
Hi.
Hi. Well, before we get started, let me have you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about your business.
Okay, sure. I'm a second generation makeup artist. So my mom was a makeup artist, grew up in the industry. Creativity and makeup and colors has always kind of been my thing. And then I ended up going to school at Florida College of Natural Health, and that's where I studied paramedical skincare. So I had that technical side of learning the anatomy of the face, the skin, how it functions. And then I started freelancing in 2010. So it's been about 10 years that I've been professionally freelancing. My main focuses are beauty, bridal, fashion, and production. So I love beauty makeup and helping women feel beautiful. That's my most favorite thing ever. So, and men too.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining us. And again, for those of you who just joined, this is Ashley, and we're going to be talking a little bit about skincare and makeup for headshots and branding photos. So, to start us off, why do you think it's important to hire a professional hair and makeup artist for photo shoots?
Yeah, specifically, I have to say most of the time for the more headshots, corporate photo shoots, people are very aware of their image. So I call it the power of 12. So like from 12 feet of from 12 feet away, what do you look like? And then what are your first 12 words? Also, what are you looking like, for your face? So your face should also be a part of your image.
Mm-hmm.
Your hair and your makeup kind of sets the tone for when someone meets you for the first time. The professional polished look really sets you apart, especially for a lot of corporate clients. They're having headshots. That means that some people are on billboards, some people are having their headshot on their card, especially for realtors. That's a really popular thing, and lawyers and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So hiring a professional just really helps you stand out and sets you apart. And it also takes the stress off because I get you covered, and you don't have to worry about looking camera ready. Because in the day in technology these days, all the little things show.
Mm-hmm.
So I help kind of smooth that out and make you look your absolute best. And it's a great pampering session as well too. A lot of times corporate clients are so busy, so it's a nice little refresher for them to have themselves be taken care of.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's a nice boost, like just to have that relaxation, especially if you're nervous about having your photo taken.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
just to like kick back for a little while, relax. I know the last time I had pictures taken of myself, it was just another photographer friend of mine and we were swapping services. And so I just, was throwing on makeup myself. And of course, last minute I'm getting nervous and like my liquid eyeliner gets all wavy on the top
Yes.
of it.
Yes, of course. It's always in those moments you're like, dang it, I wish I had someone here. Yeah. You never know too, like a lot of people aren't like for me, doing this type of thing is not normal for me. I'm usually on the other side of the camera. So it is a little more nerve-wracking to be face to face rather than kind of be behind. And just like people that don't work on set like us all the time, I'm sure it's even more nerve-wracking.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and especially if you're like, depending on the industry, if like we know that image is important in that first impression. I spoke last week with a professional image consultant. We talked about the clothing that you're wearing and the colors,
Yeah.
but obviously like your hair, your makeup, But if you're in an industry where you're not normally wearing makeup,
Hmm.
or let's say it's something more hands-on, makeup can still be important for your photos, not in a way to like completely glamorize your look, but
Yeah.
just make your features stand out properly in a photo. I'm
Yes.
using lighting to flatter your features and things like that, but it's also going to kind of fill in some of those shadows on your faces, which kind of leaves you with a very flat base. And if you don't have that little bit of makeup to kind of bring back in the contours or to define your eyes, especially people who wear glasses,
Oh, yeah.
features can just get lost in pictures without the makeup. So
Yes, totally.
necessarily have to be, like you're saying, to beautify and glamorize and all that, but it can just be to make sure your features are still popping in photos and you don't just kind of get
Yeah.
lost.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, like I always say it's your best accessory. So, like, it doesn't necessarily have to change who you are as a person. We still want to see that you're Dawn. Like, say if you were Dawn. Not to say that, but I don't know if you've seen that meme where it's Smeagol from Lord of the Rings, and they're like, if I go missing, that's what I'll look like. Versus, what you show people a lot of times. So we want all those people to look like themselves, just slightly enhanced.
Right. Yeah, I did a photo shoot for a health coach, and she had someone come to do makeup beforehand, but I don't think they really talked beforehand or like had an idea. It was an aspiring makeup artist, I should say. Um,
Okay.
and they did like a really thick eyeliner and really heavy wing. It was a very like
Oh, wow.
look. But this
Okay.
woman who's in her 40s and never wears a lot of makeup, like she just
Yeah.
mascara, a little bit of lipstick, like just to kind of fresh. I got a phone call. I never know what to do, and it always happens when I'm live. But looked so dramatically different with all
Oh,
the makeup that they did that I had the makeup artist go back and undo it because she was
wow.
gonna look the same. Like people weren't gonna be able to relate to her photos and then see her in person and like realize it was the same person.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I think for especially for things like headshots, you want to still resemble who people
Yes.
will be working with in the future, and you want to feel like yourself. But I definitely
Totally.
it's
Yeah, and that's why, even to answer your question even deeper too, because you mentioned the aspiring makeup artist. That's one thing that, in my industry, it's very, you want to make sure that you're hiring someone that's a professional, that's licensed and insured, and that knows what they're doing. Um, because I could be really good at doing my makeup, but I may not be really good at doing Sally or Joe or Susan's makeup, you
mm-hmm,
know. And you want to make sure that they know how to do every face shape, every skin tone. That's so, so important. When you show up to a job, you're not necessarily 100% sure of who your talent is. So you want to make sure that you have everything you possibly can need.
mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. Mhm. Did you freeze?
I think I lost you for a second. Could you repeat just what you said? You were saying that you don't always know who your talent's going to be, so you need to be ready for like any face shape and skin tone. And then I lost you after that.
Oh no. Okay, sorry. Um,
That's okay.
yeah, so a part of being a professional is making sure that you have in your kit what you need for any person that could be your talent, because a lot of times when you get hired for a job, you're not 100% sure who your talent is. So when you show up, you want to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that you can take care of whoever it could possibly be, any face shape, any age, any skin tone, so that they're taken care of, which is so important. A thick wing eyeliner isn't probably going to go good on every eye shape. So,
Mm-hmm.
things like that are more of a fashion and a trend aren't necessarily the best for everyday professional corporate makeup. So, yeah, it's one of those things. So, hire a professional.
Yeah. Yes. So I know that you also do a lot in skincare. So tell
Yes.
us a little bit about what you offer for skincare and how it could benefit someone if they involve themselves with that in advance of a photo shoot?
Yes. So skincare is, I am like a skincare nerd. I love skincare. So makeup and skincare are the best of friends. I'm a bit of a different in the professional beauty world where I specialize in makeup and skincare. So I'm a skin specialist as my licensure. So just like I always give the analogy, when you're going to paint your house or if you buy a new house or say if the wall is very sandy and rough, you know, or whatever, there's texture going on there. You go to paint over that, it's not going to look the same as if you were to smooth it out, you know, hydrate it and, you know, let's say exfoliate it, right? So that's really the key with skincare and makeup in the pair, the two, they're the best of friends. So I also I mainly work on location for my makeup jobs, but I do have a room at a spa in Longwood. It's called Urban Sage, and I offer spa treatments. I have some deep pore cleansing treatments, a bunch of different things that I do after I analyze your face for the first time. I kind of put together a regimen for you. And then home care is so important. So yes, it's amazing to come in to get a facial, you know, maybe every 6 to 8 weeks, but what are you doing in those weeks in between? And that's what is really key to keeping your face looking polished and fresh. And also it helps your makeup stay longer because it's not just sitting on top of your skin. It's actually able to absorb and create a fresh canvas. So I offer mainly relaxation spa facials. And within that, I use a holistic approach. So I use a skincare line, which I have a few products behind me here. From Israel. So it is a professional line. So it does take a bit of a learning curve to learn how to use it. That's why I use it in the spa. And then I can teach them throughout the process, hey, this is what I would recommend. And then they can use it at home. So my big thing is hydration and exfoliation. Those are the two main things that I highly recommend. Just come in, get a consult, you know, a little quick express facial, and then we can put together a regimen for you. Especially if you're a busy working professional, a lot of times you're getting home at late hours and you're leaving early in the morning. Just carving out those 5 to 10 minutes a day to take care of your skin will be life-changing. I just did a video, I released it a few weeks ago with a nurse working on the front lines right now who's having to wear a mask for, you know, those 16 really long hour days, and she's also a model as well, so her skin is a huge part of her, you know, presentation when she gets booked for jobs. So we kind of talked through how to properly hydrate. Good skin oils are amazing, and I just kind of teach that natural hygiene, how to properly layer products, which, you know, a lot of times is sometimes if you put an eye cream on before or after something, you know, it's not going to absorb properly. So different things like that are really helpful. And then also just coming in to get a facial is extremely relaxing. So
You know, I've never had one before.
What?
Like,
Never?
I know what one is. I pretend like I do, but I don't know
Okay.
what a facial is.
So I'll just walk you through just like a little quick little thing. So a facial is, have you ever had a massage?
Yes.
Okay. So you walk into a massage room, the lights are dim, there's music going, there's, you know, a nice warm bed, right? So that's my favorite, is setting the atmosphere. And then, you know, once you get into the bed, I work from the décolleté up. That's what I'm licensed to work. So a facial specialist can work from the décolleté up. So I'm taking care of making sure your you know, your neck, your your shoulders are all also hydrated. Also, we forget to go down our neck and our décolleté with skincare. Super important. There actually was a study that was done years ago, and they asked guys what the sexiest part of a woman's body is, and they said the décolleté, which is very interesting. If you even see, like, you'll probably notice in like magazines and stuff now, a lot of times those positions and things are very keen. It's almost kind of like a beautiful way to take care of your body as well. Our skin is the largest organ of our body, so we want to make sure we're taking care of it. But as far as a facial goes, I'll walk you through. So we get a steamer going, so you're getting steam. It's very relaxing. And then I usually do an analysis. So I make sure where your skin is at, kind of feeling around, making sure if there's anything that needs to be taken care of or extracted. I'll keep an eye on that. Also, an esthetician is amazing because I found cancer on one of my patients' ears before, and they were able to go get it taken care of before it got bad. So an esthetician is your best friend as far as when it comes to really keeping up with your skin health. And then after steam, exfoliation, we do a mask and a massage treatment. So I massage your whole face. I'll even do your scalp and then your décolleté and your shoulders. So it's just a really true, deep, relaxing process. Facial massage has incredible benefits. It helps with migraines, even just regular headaches. It helps with sinus pressure. It also releases oxytocin, which is the happy endorphin
Mm-hmm.
in your body that you get from when you hug someone, those feelings you feel. And it's amazing for fine lines and wrinkles. So it's literally kind of giving your face a workout,
Interesting.
which is pretty cool. So yeah, there's a billion things I can talk about when it comes to skincare. I love it. I love facials, and it's fun. It's just a great change of pace from makeup and, busy
Mm-hmm.
going into the facial room. It's really nice change of pace. So
I bet.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, I certainly appreciate your professional services, but I was wondering if you had some tips for people who were going to be doing their makeup on their own for photos. So, anything you could share with them to help them look and feel their best before their photo shoot.
Yes, you nailed it on the head earlier. Lighting is key. So getting a good balanced daylight space to do your makeup in is step number one.
Okay.
For sure, because anytime you're going to do on camera work or a photo shoot, whether it's outside or inside, you got to make sure that you're getting ready at least in good light. If you do that, then most likely wherever they shoot you, you'll look fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
And step number one is obviously skincare.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you're either using a primer. Say if you're more oily, use something that's going to help to kind of absorb that oil a little bit. A little trick is you can even add a little bit of baking soda, and it helps to kind of absorb. It's like kind of one of those natural primer things, or just a mattifying primer. And then if you happen to be more dry, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. That's super important. So a nice hydrating water-based primer is the best.
Okay.
And then you want to use a foundation, most likely that's more on the cream to liquid side. Stay away from the powders, especially in Florida. And I know we'll talk about that later.
Mm-hmm.
Just because when you go to get photographed, a lot of times, even as I'm getting deeper into my 30s, powder just doesn't work anymore. It can sit in all those little places. So the more cream-based, liquid-based things you can use are best. And just stick to making sure you're enhancing your eyes, maybe filling your eyebrows, making sure you're well balanced. So as far as when you go to put on your blush and stuff, just make sure you're blending it out so there isn't any lines.
Mm-hmm.
Also, make sure you go down your neck so there's no line of demarcation. Super important. But yeah, I think that doing your makeup on your own is definitely doable because there's most people that I find these days are pretty talented at doing their own makeup. But it's just finding the right formulas for camera, which is just slightly a little different than you would for everyday makeup. So stick to more of the cream, liquid base. You can even do like a cream or liquid blush. That would be awesome because it photographs beautifully. And then make sure that you're using some type of setting powder so that you are not too shiny, especially in the T-zone areas.
Okay.
And then if you happen to be too dry, make sure you're using a hydrating mist. Like that Evian spray is really great, or even just a facial mist. So you're looking nice and dewy for the camera, but not too shiny. I know, it's like a balance.
I know. It is. I know. Like I did my makeup this morning, and similar what you were talking about with powders, I can't even use like powdered blush and bronzer most of the time anymore. So
Yeah.
like I turned 35 last year and instantly
Yeah.
switched to cream everything. But I did my makeup and I was like, okay, look okay. And Trader Joe's just actually came out with like a facial mist, like a water.
Oh, cool.
And so Ryan had brought it home for me one day. So I sprayed it on this morning and then I sat down and was like, that might have been a little too,
Too dewy.
a little bit.
Yeah. I love it. I know. Honestly, I am one where I think skin naturally has a little glow to it. I'm not a fan of that overly matte look. I just feel like it doesn't look normal. It doesn't look human. So, but that's just I know a lot of people, that's a very kind of old school. They like that matte finish. I call it velvet. That's like the perfect in between.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I prefer myself to just like that natural finish. I mean,
Yes.
really, you don't want to look like you're wearing a ton of,
Right.
you just want to look like, wow, did she just pop out like that?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
cool. Well, you mentioned this, but what do we do about the humidity in Florida?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
I was outside yesterday.
Yeah.
I was working on a video project for the Chamber of Commerce, so I had to go to 10 different places. And
Oh,
some
wow.
some of the video clips we did outdoors, some are indoors, but I literally could see, like, as I was progressing through the day, my hair got bigger and bigger
Yes.
and like my face just got meltier and meltier.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, I will say this, and it's not the greatest news. There is no cure for sweat. So a lot of times if I'm working an outdoor shoot, I'm doing super minimal makeup and I'm mainly just hydrating and wiping. It's like makeup work isn't as glamorous as people think a lot of the times,
mhm.
especially in Florida when you're doing outdoor shoots. It's no joke. So I would say if you're going to be on camera and your talent is going to be outside for a long period of time, from the professional side, and then I'll go to the personal side.
Okay.
Just make sure that they're in like an umbrella or shade or one of those like little fan things, just
Mm,
trying to keep them cool. Because at the end of the day, nothing is technically waterproof. It's water resistant. There are a product which I'll talk about that is I've had a model go under the water and come out and look fabulous still. There
wow.
are things that can do that, but that's temporary. That's not an all day shoot where you're sweating and working.
Mm,
So that is a bit of a challenge. I will say the most important thing is how you layer. So when you go to put on your makeup, or when I do makeup for I know when it's going to be outside, you're wanting to layer your concealer, your corrector, and your primer underneath your foundation, and then you're going to put your foundation on top of it. So I'll talk about it again later, but I'll just show you. This is the Perfecta Base Hydrolock. So in Florida, I am a big fan of water-based Hydrolock products. Sometimes silicone-based things, which I know it's like controversy for a lot of
yeah.
professionals. They're all about silicone, silicone, silicone. I think it's great, but the formula, when you actually think of the anatomy of the face, it doesn't actually absorb into the skin. So the goal is to use more of a water base. That way it's not just, the silicone isn't just sitting on top. Um, and the Hydrolock is an incredible formula because it's 24-hour. That's the one I used for the girl that went under the water and then came out.
Hmm.
Um, the process of how you apply it is also key. So a lot of times if I know I'm doing an outdoor shoot, I will use my airbrush gun and I will blow it through the airbrush, and it's a very fine, fine mist that the skin will be able to kind of just get that flawless absorption that will stay. For rather than if you're applying with a brush, sometimes it can, just sit on top a little bit more.
Hmm.
There are ways to stipple, which is you're just kind of pressing it in, which as summer goes along, the more pressing, the better. And obviously, the more cream products. So, like you said, stay away from the powder. Um, the only time to use a powder would be a translucent powder as your setting powder. So, like Laura Mercier has an amazing one. There's a bunch of companies that have really great setting powders. The only thing with that, though, is if you're going to be outside sweating, you don't want to keep putting powder on top of powder. So just use a puff and just really just dab the sweat or the hydration of the face. You don't want to keep adding more makeup because you're going to get that cakey look. So yeah, cream base, water base. Um, this is a hybrid foundation that can be blown through an airbrush gun or applied with a brush. Oh, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, sorry. You went blurry. Okay, you can see me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So this is called Perfect Canvas. It's also called Hydrolock. It has a bunch of different skin hydrators in it, like aloe. Um, Hyaluronic acid is amazing at keeping your skin
Hmm.
hydrated. So Florida is a bit tricky because of our humidity, right? So at the end of the day, Also, depending what age you are, you can have these hormonal flushes,
Mm.
which all of a sudden you just get really hot and you don't know what to do. Having a cooling mist like an Evian spray or a facial mist is super helpful. Um, but like I said, yeah, you don't want to keep applying makeup all on top, especially powder. Have like a cream blush is really great because you can use it as lips, blush, and then even as an eyeshadow, which is really great. And that will adhere and then work perfectly. Glossier has a really good one,
Mm.
which is, yeah. So hopefully that answered the question. There's so many
Yeah.
things that you can do, and also it's a little bit based on the skin tone or the skin consistency of the client as well. Because if you're more oily, you're going to do different things than you are if you're more dry. So, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I'm sure it's just from like seeing TV shows and movies, but you always see people like makeup artists rushing in a TV show or in a movie and they're like powdering people again. And so it's
Yeah,
interesting to realize like, no, that's not actually, and it makes sense. Like, why would you add more and more layers of it? It's just going to get caked on as you're sweating. So it makes total
exactly.
really thought about it.
Yeah, totally. There are products that a few companies have that are you can apply throughout the day, but and it actually helps to absorb the oil. So if you're dealing with oil, that's one thing, but if you're dealing with sweat, that's a whole other thing.
Mm.
So like you can't really apply makeup on top of sweat. You just need to make sure you're reducing that. Oil is different. You can definitely use like a blot powder or a setting powder, and that will absorb that shine. Um, so you can do that, but you're really just pressing with like a puff, or if you do have it on a brush, you're just like really pressing it in. You're not um, applying more product, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I know you mentioned a few makeup brands, but
Yeah.
just for, do you have
Yeah.
any favorites that are either sold at Ulta or Sephora?
Yeah. So I have a little hodgepodge down here. Let me see if I can, I don't know if you can see. Can you see?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so that's like my little setup I have. All of these products that I found, um, some can be found at Sephora and Ulta, which is awesome. And they also are products that I carry in my kit. So, like one of my favorite products, it's a lip balm. It's a tinted lip balm. So you can actually use it for blush, lips, and keep your skin hydrated. They have a original formula that has no tint in it. So say if you have those really dry areas or even on your elbows, like you can kind of help with that. It's called Dr. Papa.
Hmm.
It's actually it's from Australia, and it has this fancy papaya extract in it, which is super yummy. But yeah, it's cruelty and vegan free, which is amazing. So it's really great if anybody has natural any skin allergies. They have different tinted. These are brand new to Ulta. They just started carrying them. The original formula we used to buy from professional makeup stores, but they have like a mainstream retail line now. That the original formula is in a yellow tube, and then all the tinted ones are in different color tubes, which is kind of cool. And as you'll see, I'm obsessed with pink and purple things, so I noticed all of my things are pink and purple. So pinky. And then as we go into summer, I figured I'd share my favorite bronzer.
Oh
This is
yeah.
my die-hard bronzer. I've tried professional bronzers, and I always go back to this bronzer. It's the Hoola bronzer
Oh nice.
from Benefit Cosmetics. And it's just a really great neutral color. It's not too orange,
Hmm.
which is what you want. So I actually just use it as my contour every day. It's super great, and it gives you like a nice little tan. And it's super creamy, so it doesn't give you that like blotchy look, which is amazing.
I'm
And then
actually the stick version of the hula, the cream hula
I have
one.
that one too. I love it. They actually have a Hula Light too, which would maybe even be better because
I,
you're a little more fair.
that is the one I
It's
have.
this,
Like
yeah. Do you have the light one?
I have the stick of the light one, yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay, yay! Yeah, because the light is a newer one. They just came out with that a few years ago. Um,
Hmm.
so I'm obsessed with lip products. I have a million of them. My favorite long-lasting lipstick is the Kat Von D long-lasting liquid lips, and they come in like 50 million colors. They're so fun, and they're great for brides or clients that are going to be wearing things for a long period of time. It's the only liquid matte lip that I've found that doesn't cake and make your lips feel gross. Like most of them do throughout the day. And then if you go to reapply them most of the time, they get all like blotchy and they break apart a little bit. This one doesn't do that. This one is amazing. So Kat Von D liquid lips. This color is my favorite. It's called K-Dub. It's like a fuchsia violet color. And then my favorite drugstore lipsticks are Milani.
Oh, I haven't tried.
They come in these really nice gold tubes, and they last forever, and they smell amazing. As you can see, purple. I love purple. So yeah, like this one literally smells like berries. It smells so good. And so the cool thing about their lipsticks is it's a lip liner and lipstick in one. So it literally will last you like for hours. It's amazing. I've eaten with these on before. Like I actually did years ago. I did a burger challenge where I had a Milani lipstick on and I took a bite of a burger and it still looked perfect. So if that says anything. And then in the day and age we're in right now, I figured I'd share my favorite hand sanitizer.
Oh yeah.
This is my favorite. I like supporting small businesses. And a lot of these companies, technically, like Dr. Papa, I know is a small business. Milani, I don't believe is. Benefit Cosmetics is obviously not. Yeah. But Jow is definitely a small brand company. They have a little pop-up shop in San Francisco, which I want to go to, but they do full line of body products as well. But this is a natural hand sanitizer. So it does have ethyl alcohol, 65%, but it's got some essential oils, which has got lavender, tea tree, eucalyptus, geranium, clary sage. So it smells amazing. Every time I use this on set or in a job, I keep one in my purse. They're like, what is that? And they always want to use it. So, you know, day and age of killing germs, which is this fun life we're living right now.
Yep.
So yeah, I could go on and on and on, but my favorite lip gloss, find this at Target, it's Baby Lips. I get the cherry one. You've probably seen these before. Yeah, it's the Maybelline Baby Lips.
Yeah.
You can use it. I love using this as blush and lip. The cherry is my favorite one. And then I do want to take just a little second to talk about foundation. So my most favorite, which this is technically a professional product, but you can use it at home. So it doesn't have too many user errors. It's very easy to use. It's the Temp 2 Hydro Lock Foundation, and it comes in this little bottle. And you just make sure you shake it. So I apply this in my airbrush gun, a few drops to blow through in a professional setting. And then every morning I put a few drops on like a fat blending brush, and I apply it as my foundation. So this is a new foundation they formulated a few years ago. It used to be silicone based was the go-to formula for Temp 2, but I switched over to Hydrolock a few years ago, and it's changed everything. Like it looks amazing on every skin tone, every skin age, which is so important because sometimes foundations will sit in those little lines. This one doesn't do that. It's incredible. And the cool thing is you can apply it with a brush, and I can use it in the professional setting. So it's my most favorite one ever. I don't know off the top of my head what the ingredients are, but it is water-based, which is what I prefer. It's actually a hybrid, so it's what they call a semi-matte. So it gives you a like more of a velvet finish than like a matte finish. So you look like yourself. Yeah, I think those are, there's a million products. I'm like a product junkie, so.
I know. I think it was like maybe 32, and I was tired of people saying like, oh, Dawn, you look really tired. Are you okay? And then I was like, okay,
gosh,
I need to learn how to do my makeup. And then I went down the YouTube rabbit hole, and then turned into a little bit of a makeup junkie. I understand it's hard to just pick one favorite.
It is. It's so hard. And as you can see, I obviously love pinks and purples. Well, in the summer months, it's fun to use those fun colors. But yeah, I always say too, when you're picking products and you're watching videos like what you said, what maybe is working on them may not work on you. So just trial and error. Like you don't need to spend a lot of money. Like I said before too, like these balms and some of these lipsticks can be used as blush and lips.
Mm-hmm.
So it's super easy. Um, and then also too, the cool thing about this is I actually use it as my concealer and my foundation. So I don't really apply concealer unless I'm just having one of those days and I'm like, oh man, I need some extra help. I apply it all the way up and even over my eye as well too for a little bit of eye primer
Mm-hmm. That's
and to
awesome.
help my foundation or help my eyeshadow to stay longer. But yeah, it's definitely can get overwhelming watching videos because they're giving you all of these million ideas and palettes and this and that, and then you buy it all and you're like, ah!
No. I know.
Yeah,
I found people that I have like the similar tastes to, and like I'm pretty certain that when they recommend something that it works for them, that it'll work for me. Kind
right.
um and I have everything I need. I have more than everything I need. But yeah, and
Yeah.
I feel like so many of the YouTube creators are focused on using their own collections now instead of buying a ton of new stuff. So that's a helpful reminder to hear. And I was more just like inspiration for.
Yes, exactly. Inspiration. Like watching them use like, a blue eyeshadow or well, could I use a blue eyeshadow? It just gives you ideas as far as how to use different colors and things you maybe didn't think to use to try.
Hmm.
Which is super fun. I mean, I love playing with color. I always say that anybody can wear a color. It's just how you apply it and where you apply it.
Hmm. Every time I try to wear blue eyeshadow, like I want to, but every time I put it on, I'm afraid I look like Mimi from the Drew Carey show.
Yes.
In my head, I look at myself and it's just like I took a blue marker from here to here.
Yeah.
And I ask people, I'm like, so how does this look? Do I look okay? They're like, yeah, it looks great. And I even try to use like more navies and silvers instead of like bright blue. But I'm
Yeah.
still convinced every time that I look like the
Well,
Drew
maybe
Carey.
we could do a blue eyeshadow tutorial.
Yeah. Oh
Oh
my gosh. Well,
my
thank you
gosh.
so much for coming today and talking with me. This was a lot of fun.
Yes.
I definitely learned a lot. I know these will be some great tips to share with clients too. So before we go, just let me know or let the group know where they can find you if they're interested in working with you.
Yeah, sure. So I don't know. I'm sure I don't with the live videos you can like tag my account, right?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
for everybody right now.
So yeah, my IG is Marin Makeup Artist, and on there, if you click on that link that's in my bio, in the link tree, there's a whole bunch of links on there: how to contact me, information about my business, my story, information about booking facials. There also is a few really cool behind the scenes videos that I've done just to see some of my work. But you can go to my IG or my Facebook. They're both at marinmakeupartist.com, Marin makeup artist. And then you can find me on my website, which is www.marinmakeup.com. And then my email and all of that is all linked in my Instagram profile. So you can click the message button or the contact button and it'll contact me directly.
Great. Awesome. Well, thank you again, and hopefully we'll get to see one another at a networking event in person.
Yes, yes. I just signed up for the July 8th Margaritaville. Are you going to go to that, the wedding one?
I haven't looked yet. I'll have to look
Oh,
at
you should go.
it.
I think
Awesome.
they discounted the price.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I know. Okay. Well,
Great.
thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Okay, bye, Dawn.
Bye.
Bye.